Final Destination was one of the few movies that actually gave me nightmares when I was small. The first Final Destination movie with Stifler was supposed to be an episode of The X-Files written by Jeffrey Reddick, but the idea was rejected and reworked into standalone beloved horror movie Final Destination. Also, the number 180 reappears constantly in the series, like Flight 180 in the first film, Route 180, Room 180, Bus 180, and so on. It's like an omen signaling that death is nearby. Unlike slasher films with physical killers, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Final Destination's antagonist is literally death itself, manifesting through very unlikely accidents. You never see it coming, but it's there. Well, actually, these deaths are very likely in real life if you look up Flight Leak. Tony Todd plays Bloodworth, a mortician with uncanny knowledge of death's design. Many rumor him to be the death itself, but I highly doubt that. Fun fact, Tony actually played the Candyman, another famous horror movie franchise from the 90s, which I think is a very cool detail. Rest in peace, Tony. The Devil's Flight roller coaster scene in Final Destination 3 required extensive CGI and live-action composites taking over half a year to complete, which for that time was considered super long, especially for a horror movie. Moving on to Final Destination 4, it originally was meant to be the end of the franchise, but it made over $186 million on a $40 million budget. So Final Destination 5 just had to happen. Well, Final Destination 5, though, is a prequel to the first movie, and although it wasn't as great as the other movies, it still had pretty creative kills. As of 2025, Final Destination Bloodlines came out recently, which I think has one of the most gruesome kills I have ever seen in my life. If you have seen the movie, I think you know what I'm talking about. But my personal favorite to this day remains Final Destination 2. It just had the most memorable characters, badass soundtrack, interesting plot, but most importantly, it had the infamous woodlog scene. Every time I drive behind those trucks in real life, I move to the other lane just because of this movie. Final Destination is not only an outrageous death montage, but it's a complex, unique horror experience that to this day remains one of the best horror movie franchises. So here's exactly why